Now might be a really good time for you to get angry.
That's my secret, Captain. I'm always angry.
There's an exciting MCU rumor going around that Marvel Studios might be gearing up to bring in the Maestro version of the Hulk as his next big evolution. Could this be setting the stage for World War Hulk? Maestro is one of the Hulk's most iconic villains. Well, technically it's just a future version of himself. First introduced in the 1992 miniseries Hulk Future Imperfect by Peter David and George Pérez, this bearded baddie quickly became a fan favorite. According to Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circus, we might see Maestro show up soon. The idea seems to be that he'll become the next big evolution of the Hulk, but how or when that happens, or if the multiverse plays a part, is still up in the air. The last time we caught up with Bruce Banner, his arm had healed after Avengers Endgame. After training his cousin Jennifer Walters, aka She-Hulk, the Green Goliath met his son Scar. Unfortunately, Scar's debut in the She-Hulk Attorney at Law finale didn't exactly win fans over. If Maestro is on the way, it'll likely tie into the long-rumored World War Hulk, World War Hulks project, which might be part of Marvel Studios' next big saga. There's also a good chance he could show up in one of the next 2 Avengers movies, and I have very good reason to believe why. Introducing Maestro to the MCU would fit perfectly with the multiverse saga, as he's essentially an alternate future version of the Hulk. In the comics, his first big fight is against Hercules, who was introduced in the Thor Love and Thunder post-credit scene. There are more reasons, but before I get into that, I need to introduce you to the Maestro. He's a version of the Hulk from a bleak future where nuclear war has left the world in ruins. Thanks to all the radiation in the atmosphere, his powers are cranked up to insane levels, but his mind has been twisted by the terrible events of his life. In this wasteland, Maestro took control, uniting the scattered survivors under his iron rule, running things like an old-school warlord with an unshakable grip on power. When the modern-day Hulk gets transported to this grim future, he ends up clashing with Maestro. The battle isn't just against a powerful foe, it's a fight against a dark reflection of himself. Maestro embodies everything Hulk could become if he gave in to his deepest anger and unchecked rage. Maestro and Hulk had an epic showdown, with Hulk ultimately defeating him by sending him back in time to the exact moment and place where the gamma bomb that created him was detonated. This move seemingly destroyed Maestro on an atomic level. But things didn't end there. Later, Bruce Banner's mind found itself trapped in what might have been hell, where he confronted past enemies, including Maestro. During this eerie reunion, Maestro revealed that death didn't work the same way for beings like them. They always found a way back. He also dropped a bombshell. Hulk's strange pull to the gamma bomb test site was due to Maestro's spirit, which had been siphoning gamma radiation over the years to slowly rebuild his body. When Maestro finally revived, he was in rough shape, emaciated, with flesh barely hanging from his bones. He wandered into the desert but eventually collapsed. A group of Asgardian trolls discovered him and took him to their cave, where they used his soul to power the Destroyer armor. In this new form, Maestro went after Hulk again. During their fight, Hulk managed to use their shared DNA to enter the Destroyer's spirit realm. He slammed the visor shut just as the armor's disintegration beam fired, triggering a massive shockwave and a rock slide. Unbeknownst to Hulk, the collapse buried Maestro, at least for now. 4 years, Maestro disappeared without a trace, but that changed when Miguel O'Hara, the Spider-Man of 2099, returned to what he believed was his future timeline, only to find a nuclear wasteland. There, he encountered Maestro, though it's unclear if this was the original or an alternate version. After toying with Miguel in a brief fight, Maestro easily overpowered him and took him prisoner in a city called Dystopia. Miguel was thrown into a cell alongside Strange 2099, that timeline's Sorceress Supreme. Strange healed Miguel's injuries and the two managed to escape. Their escape led them to Maestro's trophy room, a collection of relics from the heroic age. Among the treasures was Dr. Doom's time platform, which Miguel started repairing to escape this grim timeline. Maestro, using the Hood's cloak of invisibility, ambushed them. He seemingly killed Strange and went after Miguel again. This time, Miguel fought back using remnants of Iron Man's Hulkbuster armor and managed to knock the tyrant down long enough to escape back to the present day. However, after Miguel's escape, it was revealed that Strange had survived. In a twist, it turned out she, or rather the demon possessing her, was working with Maestro all along. Despite retaining Banner's intellect, Maestro's scientific expertise had deteriorated over the years, likely due to his madness and overindulgence. He had manipulated events to get Miguel to repair the time platform for him. With it now operational, Maestro used it to travel to the present day, disappearing to an unknown destination. Now, there's a cool potential connection to Sony's Spider-Verse films, since Maestro crosses paths with Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man 2099, in the comics. He manipulates Miguel into building a time machine, which could set up an awesome crossover between Sony and Marvel Studios. Plus, Maestro played a role in the 2015 Secret Wars event, so we might even see this version of Hulk make his debut in Avengers Secret Wars during Phase 6. Here's how Maestro fits into Secret Wars. When Dr. Doom creates Battleworld by combining different timelines, the future Imperfect timeline becomes a domain called Dystopia, ruled by Maestro. To gain the trust of the resistance movement, Maestro pretends to be a depowered Odin and eventually faces their leader Thunderbolt Ross, who is this reality's version of Thing. After an intense battle, Maestro offers to free Dystopia from his tyranny if Ross helps him kill God Emperor Doom. With this goal in mind, Maestro goes on a quest to find the destroyer in another region of Battleworld. He tracks it to Asgardia, where it's guarded by Ulick, only to discover its ultimate protector is an elderly Rick Jones, the Ancient One. Maestro manages to merge with the destroyer and seemingly kills God Emperor Doom, claiming victory and conquering Battleworld. However, it turns out the entire fight was an illusion created to trap Maestro. Thinking he's won, Maestro reverts to his human form, leaving Rick to explain that Maestro will remain imprisoned in the illusion until he dies. Eventually, Doom releases Maestro from the trap, and he's later seen aiding Doom in controlling riots in Doomstat. In Marvel's all-new, all-different Marvel relaunch, the Maestro ends up working for the Collector as his summoner in the Contest of Champions. The Collector saves Maestro from his previous fate, claiming the villain owes him his life. However, Maestro has no intention of showing gratitude and starts plotting to kill the Collector and escape. Maestro eventually gets his hands on the power primordial contained within the Isosphere, a prize the Grand Master and Collector are fighting over, and uses it to recreate Battleworld. His plans are thwarted when Outlaw destroys the Isosphere, stripping him of his newfound power. Defeated, Maestro is locked up in the Collector's display room. Now, you can see why Maestro showing up in the MCU's Avengers movies would make so much sense. Even if it didn't, though, I'd still love to see him in action. He's such a powerful character. As a version of the Hulk, Maestro has all the same powers: insane strength, endurance, resistance to harm, and a crazy healing factor, all of which grow stronger the angrier he gets. But here's the kicker. After absorbing years of radiation from nuclear fallout, his baseline strength is already way higher than the current Hulk's, even when he's calm. On top of his raw power, Maestro has Bruce Banner's genius-level intellect, but none of his morals or conscience. While his technical skills might have slipped from lack of practice, he's still dangerously smart, super manipulative, and fueled by a century's worth of knowledge and experience. That combo of brains, brute force, and ruthlessness makes him a nightmare to deal with, especially since he knows the modern Hulk's moves before he makes them. Maestro's abilities don't stop there. After his death, his spirit formed a psychic link with Hulk to lure him back to their birthplace. His healing factor also seems to slow or stop his aging, making him potentially immortal. He even explained to Bruce that with enough gamma radiation, he could regenerate years after dying, and proved it when he siphoned energy from Hulk to come back to life. Well, that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more updates on this and other exciting upcoming movies. We'll see you next time.